I don't know if you saw the news today. Splitgate 2 is unlaunching, going to relaunch in early 2026, and they're cutting staff. So first of all, really sorry for anybody who lost their job over this. And I know people don't believe this, I am pulling for the Splitgate 2 team here as a whole in 1047 games, but I'm a little worried. So first of all, I keep thinking there was some other game that did a big relaunch like this, and I can't think of it. But this is big to pull your game back, right? Because already we see early access is no longer early access and you're judged for that. Well, this is a full release, right? And I think they're making a mistake now, or they made a mistake now that we all have to admit as developers going forward. If you're releasing a sequel or follow-up, and I know the game you're going to talk about, don't say it, you have to hit feature parity of the thing you're replacing it with. So Splitgate 2 had to have feature parity with it. So they're talking about going into the Reddit threads and listening and hearing all the feedback about like all the systems that they didn't include and all the things around the game that they didn't include that was in the original and the problems with that. That's awesome, right? And they're talking about how they read, the forums and they're just not responding, or the Reddits. And that's really great, right? We did that at Valve as well. We just wouldn't respond, but we would read them all and understand those. Left 4 Dead 2, someone just recently said about my signature on a box wasn't like, it was a shay instead of shet, because I was tired of signing a lot. The T was too much. It's being efficient. I'd already gone down to just my first name. I'm off track. Stay on track. But so out of all of that, though, they say a lot of really good things about those missing systems and what they're going to do and all of that. But they say one thing that really scares me, and they say is, but our core gameplay loop is good. We don't need to change that. And that is something a young first-time CEO says. Because you're at the point where you had to unlaunch your game. You went out onto a giant stage, announced your game, bragged about it, were very proud of it, and you got smacked. You very publicly got smacked. So we often make jokes, Eric and I, about like, this person has no friends, because a friend would call them on their shit, right? Like we don't talk for months on end, and we will still send each other a message when one of us is being an idiot, right? And this is that for the CEO. A young CEO, he's in charge. He had a big hit coming out. They do the follow-up, and so now he's like, core gameplay's great. I don't need to hear it. Dude, do one thing. Do one thing. Go in a room, have somebody else collect all of the feedback. Go in the room with everybody who's still working on the game. Be it a chat, whatever, and have somebody else honestly read the feedback. Because the biggest piece of advice I can give you right now is be curious, don't be dismissive. You're being dismissive. You're saying, oh, that's good. That's good. Oh, they're complaining. Oh, we're going to ignore that. We're going to ignore that. No, it's just that we don't have leaderboards. That's it. That's it. No. Step back and be curious. Be curious and take everything to heart. It's going to be a shitty day when you do that. It is going to be a crappy day. It is going to be, you're going to feel like crap. And then you're going to be like, okay, but we can fix this. We can do this. And then you're going to feel better about it, right? But you got to be honest about it. And you got to be honest about it to the point where you're disagreeing with your earlier self. That you're just not being like, yeah, we know this, but no, no. Because the people I know that were playing it, the first one, and now I'm playing the second one, talk about the core gameplay as being different. I don't understand quite the differences, but they talk about that. It's just not about the stuff around the game. And if you're not willing to address that, you're going to be back in the same spot. And if you're willing to step back and make this big, like just not like, hey, we're going to go silent for a little bit, but we're going to literally unlaunch the game and come back, you got to be honest with yourself. You got to be almost embarrassed for your past self for how wrong you were. Because that's the way you're going to save this. That's the way you're going to save everyone else's job. And this is the way you're going to save your game in your studio. And it sucks. It's going to be hard. That's why gummies exist. But like, just do it. Do it. And then everybody openly in the company understands the realm of what you actually have to solve and the problems that you have, and that you're being honest about it, and you're being curious about when someone says something. Follow up with some of the Redditors and ask them. But be curious. Don't be dismissive. The worst thing you can do right now is be dismissive about anything. You got to listen to all the feedback, and it is gonna suck.